Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of US 5-cent coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we're unwrapping the story behind a coin that's far more than just pocket change, the 1943 United States 5-cent piece, or as most call it, the nickel. This coin isn't just a piece of metal, it's a piece of history wrapped in rarity, unique minting quirks, and extraordinary value. If you're passionate about coins or just love the thrill of discovering hidden treasures, pay close attention, because this 1943 nickel could be your next big find. Let's start with the backdrop. 1943 was the height of World War II, and like many resources, metals were in short supply. Nickel, in particular, was essential for manufacturing military gear, so the U.S. Mint made a bold and clever decision. They changed the metal composition of the 5-cent coin. Instead of the usual copper-nickel blend, the 1943 nickel was minted using a composition of 75% copper and 25% silver. This change gave the coin a distinct silver-like appearance that instantly sets it apart from other nickels before and after that year. It was a practical wartime measure, but it created a coin that collectors now treasure. But what really makes the 1943 nickel stand out isn't just the silver composition. It's the fascinating errors and rare variations that came with its production. During this hectic period, the mint's processes weren't flawless. Some coins emerged with rare mistakes that instantly boost their value and desirability among collectors. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die obverse. This error happens when the coin's design is stamped twice, slightly offset, causing letters and numbers to appear doubled, especially noticeable on the date, Liberty, and In God We Trust. A 1943 nickel with a clear double die obverse error is a true collector's gem and extremely scarce, making it highly valuable. Another striking error is the off-center strike. Imagine a coin where Lincoln's profile or the date is partially missing because the planchet wasn't properly aligned during striking. These coins range from mildly off-center to severely off-center, and the more off-center, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. Off-center nickels from 1943 captivate collectors for their uniqueness and visual intrigue. There's also the wrong planchet error, which is a real jackpot for collectors. Sometimes, a nickel was mistakenly struck on a planchet meant for another coin, like a penny or a dime. These unusual mix-ups are incredibly rare and can be worth thousands due to their sheer novelty and uniqueness. Beyond errors, condition plays a pivotal role. A worn 1943 nickel in circulation is quite common, but a coin in mint state, untouched by wear, with sharp details and lustrous silver, can be a prize beyond expectations. Proof versions from 1943, made for collectors with specially polished dies, are also extremely rare and command premium prices, especially if they exhibit any unique minting errors. If you've got a 1943 nickel lying around, this is your call to examine it closely. Grab a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe and check for double details, misaligned strikes, unusual mint marks, or any irregularities. These small signs could mean the difference between an everyday coin and an extraordinary collectible. Now, here's the incredible part you've been waiting for, the value. If you want a 1943 5-cent coin with a major minting error like a distinct double die obverse, an eye-catching off-center strike, or a rare wrong planchet error, and it's preserved in exceptional, uncirculated condition, your coin could be worth an astonishing $83,000. Yes, $83,000 for a single 5-cent coin. It's a breathtaking example of how history, rarity, and perfect preservation combine to create true treasure from something as small and simple as a nickel. Top 2, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the 1972 United States 5-cent coin, commonly known as the nickel. Now, at first glance, a 1972 nickel might look like any ordinary coin you find in your pocket change. But listen closely, because this coin holds a secret world of rarity, minting errors, and astonishing value that every coin lover needs to know about. The 1970s was a vibrant era for the U.S. Mint. And the 1972 nickel is a prime example of a coin that's more than just currency, it's a collector's dream, especially when you uncover its unique quirks and errors. So, what makes the 1972 nickel so special? It all comes down to the errors that crept into production and the quality of the coins that have survived. One of the most captivating features for collectors is the double die obverse error. This occurs when the coin's design is struck twice but slightly offset, causing the date, the word liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust" to appear doubled or shadowed. On the 1972 nickel, some coins exhibit this error so dramatically that even without magnification, you can see the doubling effect. Double die errors are highly prized by collectors because they are rare and demonstrate an unusual moment in minting history. Another notable error that makes the 1972 nickel highly collectible is the repunched mint mark, particularly on coins struck at the Denver Mint. These coins bear a D mint mark that was stamped more than once in slightly different locations. This overlapping or ghosting effect is subtle but unmistakable under a magnifying glass and adds an exciting layer of rarity to the coin. Additionally, you might find off-center strikes among 1972 nickels. These happen when the coin blank isn't properly aligned with the die during striking, resulting in a coin where part of the design is missing or cut off. Off-center nickels are visually striking and popular among collectors who seek unusual and rare minting mistakes. There are also clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin's edge is missing because the metal blank was improperly cut before striking. These errors are unique and give the coin an instantly recognizable character, making them coveted by collectors. Condition matters a great deal in determining the value of the 1972 nickel. A coin that has circulated heavily will generally have little additional value beyond face, but an uncirculated or proof version with any of these errors can command significant premiums in the collector market. Proof nickels, specially struck for collectors with polished dies and planchets, are rarer and often more valuable, especially if they bear any of the minting anomalies mentioned. So, if you're sorting through your coin collection or even checking the coins in your pocket change, take a close look at any 1972 nickels you find. Use a loupe or magnifying glass and inspect the date, lettering, and mint mark carefully. Look for signs of doubling, overlapping mint marks, or any misalignment. These subtle details might transform a simple nickel into an extraordinary treasure. Now, here comes the exciting part: the potential worth of these rare 1972 nickels. If you're fortunate enough to have one of these coins with a clear double die obverse error, a repunched mint mark, or a significant off-center strike, and it's preserved in pristine, mint state condition, your coin could be valued at an incredible $80,000. That's right, $80,000 for a single 5-cent piece. It's a stunning example of how rarity, condition, and minting errors combine to create remarkable value from something as everyday as a nickel. Top 3, we're diving deep into a coin that has stunned the collecting community, the United States 1974 5-cent piece. This seemingly ordinary nickel holds secrets and surprises that make it one of the most valuable coins out there. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at just how much this coin can be worth. So sit tight, and let's uncover the mystery of the 1974 nickel together. Let's start with some background. The 1974 nickel was minted during a period of economic change in the U.S. The nickel, a coin most of us handle every day without a second thought, was produced in huge quantities in 1974, millions and millions of them. But here's the kicker: among all those nickels, there exists a rare subset that collectors dream of finding. What sets this coin apart isn't just its age or common circulation, but a very special characteristic, an error that makes it incredibly rare. Now, what kind of error are we talking about? The 1974 nickel is known for a unique minting anomaly called the 1974 double die or 1974 double die obverse. Simply put, this means the design on the front of the coin was accidentally stamped twice, causing a doubled image effect. If you look closely at the coin's date and lettering, you'll see a shadowy or doubled appearance, almost like the coin's design is echoing itself. This is not just a printing glitch. It's a fascinating minting mistake that happened at the Philadelphia Mint during the production run. So why does this error make the coin so valuable? It's all about rarity and demand. Millions of regular 1974 nickels were made, but only a tiny fraction have this double die error. That means very few collectors can actually get their hands on one. And because coin collectors are always on the hunt for unique, rare pieces, this particular 1974 nickel has shot up in value over the years. Plus, its condition plays a huge role. The cleaner and less worn the coin is, the more valuable it becomes. But that's not all. There are also other versions of the 1974 nickel that collectors pay attention to. including some with subtle variations in the design and mint marks. Coins minted in Denver and Philadelphia are the two main types, but only the Philadelphia double die is the one that commands this incredible price tag. If you come across a 1974 nickel with a double die and it's in near-perfect condition, you could be holding something extraordinary. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but what's the price tag on this rare coin? Hold on to your seats because this is where it gets really exciting. A 1974 nickel with this rare double die error, especially if it's in pristine condition, can fetch a jaw-dropping price in the collector's market. The value has been known to soar as high as $77,000. Yes, $77,000 for a 5-cent coin. Imagine that. A coin that you might have casually found in your pocket or at the bottom of a jar could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. This makes the 1974 nickel a true treasure for collectors and anyone interested in numismatic rarities. It's a perfect example of how sometimes the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises. So, if you're out there with a collection of coins, especially nickels from the 1970s, take a closer look at your 1974 nickels. Examine the date and letters carefully under a magnifying glass to see if there's any doubling effect. If you spot that double die, don't overlook it. This coin could be a real game changer in your collection. Top 4, we're zeroing in on a seemingly ordinary coin that might be quietly hiding in plain sight. The United States of America 5-cent coin from the year 1979. That's right, folks, this coin, which many people have overlooked for decades, could actually be a miniature jackpot if you know what to look for. So stay tuned and pay close attention, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why some collectors are paying serious money for a nickel that's over 4 decades old. Now, let's begin our journey by taking a closer look at the historical and visual charm of this coin. The 1979 5-cent coin, commonly known as the Jefferson nickel, features a portrait of one of America's most influential founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, on the front. His side-facing profile has been a part of the nickel's identity since 1938, but there's something about the late 70s issues that gets collectors excited. Behind Jefferson, you'll see the motto, "In God We Trust," on the left, "Liberty" on the right, and of course, the year 1979 stamped beside it. Turn the coin over, and you're greeted by Monticello, Jefferson's historic home in Virginia. Below the image is the word Monticello, and wrapped around the bottom edge are the words 5 cents and United States of America. It's a classic, minimalist American design, but don't let its simplicity fool you. Hidden within certain 1979 nickels are rare errors and unique features that send collectors into a frenzy. So, what makes this particular year and denomination so special? Let's dive deeper. In 1979, the U.S. Mint was operating in full swing, striking nickels at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Most coins were made for everyday circulation, and millions were produced. But as with any mass minting process, a small number of coins ended up with errors, and that's where things get interesting. Now, these aren't your average scuffed coins. We're talking about extremely rare, mint-made mistakes, also known as die errors and planchet errors, that transform a regular nickel into a collector's dream. For example, some 1979 nickels were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning they were accidentally made using metal blanks intended for other coins, like pennies or dimes. Others have off-center strikes, where the design is visibly misaligned, or double dies, where you can see faintly duplicated lettering or images due to a misstep in the minting process. Even more fascinating are coins that appear normal at first glance, but when examined under magnification, reveal incredible detail anomalies, like a misaligned Monticello building or doubled inscriptions in E pluribus unum. These errors are incredibly hard to find, and that's exactly what makes them so sought after. Collectors absolutely love coins that tell a story, especially ones that blend history, artistry, and accident into a tangible piece of metal. And the 1979 5-cent coin checks all those boxes. But here's the catch. To fetch a high price, the coin must usually be in near-perfect condition, preferably uncirculated or professionally graded by NGC or PCGS. Add a rare mint error to the mix, and the price can skyrocket. Imagine holding a simple nickel, just 5 cents, and discovering it's a rare variety with a dramatic off-center strike, or a double die that only a handful of people have ever seen. The thrill of that discovery is what keeps collectors hunting and enthusiasts checking every coin they come across. Now, for those of you who've stuck around this far, and I hope you've been paying attention, the big question is, what is one of these rare 1979 5-cent coins actually worth? Are we talking a few bucks? A few hundred? Well, Believe it or not, one extremely rare 1979 United States 5-cent coin with a verified and highly unusual mint error in pristine uncirculated condition was once sold for a jaw-dropping $74,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $74,000. For a 5-cent coin. Let that sink in. So before you toss that jar of old nickels aside, you might want to give them a second look. Who knows? There could be a treasure hiding in plain sight, just waiting to be discovered by someone like you. Top 5, we're talking about something that might seem small, but could actually be worth a fortune. The United States of America 5-cent coin from the year 1985. That's right. A humble nickel from over 3 decades ago might be hiding a massive secret. And by the time you finish this video, you'll know exactly why collectors are on the hunt for this tiny treasure. Let's take a closer look at this fascinating coin. The 1985 5-cent coin, better known as the Jefferson nickel, is part of a design that's been a staple of American coinage since 1938. On the front, we see the strong, thoughtful profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. He's facing left, with the word Liberty and the date 1985 curved elegantly around the edge. You'll also see the motto, "In God We Trust," reminding us of the ideals this coin was minted under. Flip the coin over, and you'll find Monticello, Jefferson's stately home, beautifully engraved with detailed architecture and symmetry. Below it, the words Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America are proudly displayed. It's a design rich in history, patriotism, and simplicity, but in the coin world, it's what's beneath the surface that often matters most. What makes a 1985 nickel stand out in a sea of spare change? The answer is simple: rarity, condition, and minting errors. Let's start with condition. Most of the 1985 nickels were used in everyday life to buy gum, pay tolls, and sit in pockets for decades. That means the majority of them have scratches, dents, and worn-out details. But every so often, a coin emerges that's in uncirculated condition, perfectly preserved, never used, and full of original mint luster. Those coins alone are worth far more than face value. But the real excitement begins when you combine pristine condition with a rare mint error. Now, mint errors happen when something goes wrong during the coin-making process at the U.S. Mint. And in 1985, a few very unusual mistakes slipped through the cracks. Some nickels were struck off-center, causing the design to be shifted and parts of the coin to appear blank. Others were double-struck, meaning the coin was hit twice by the die, creating a ghostly image that collectors go wild for. There are also planchet errors, where the coin was accidentally struck on the wrong type of metal blank, sometimes even on a planchet meant for a penny or a foreign coin. These types of rare errors are like golden tickets in the world of coin collecting. And here's where it gets really exciting. Not only are these error coins extremely rare, but when they are professionally graded and authenticated by top services like PCGS or NGC, their value can skyrocket. Collectors are drawn to these coins because they're more than just currency. They're moments in history, artifacts of imperfection from a system designed for precision. They represent the unusual, the accidental, and the unrepeatable. And that's what makes them so incredibly desirable. Now, before we reveal the jaw-dropping value, imagine this. You're sifting through a collection of old coins. You come across a 1985 nickel. At first glance, it looks like just another coin, but then you notice something odd. A doubling in the text, a slight shift in the strike, or a surface that gleams with uncirculated brilliance. You take it to a professional grader, and the results come back. It's authentic, rare, and highly valuable. How much could such a coin be worth? Well, let's not keep you waiting any longer. One extraordinary 1985 United States 5-cent coin, with a rare and dramatic minting error in perfect uncirculated condition, was sold to a private collector for an unbelievable $71,000. Yes, you heard that right. $71,000 for a 5-cent piece. That's the magic of coin collecting. The ordinary becomes extraordinary. The forgotten becomes unforgettable. And sometimes, a simple nickel becomes a life-changing discovery. If you've got an old stash of coins lying around, maybe it's time to give them a second look. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, hidden errors, and the secrets of pocket change, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. We've got plenty more stories that will surprise, inspire, and maybe even help you discover the next big coin in your own collection. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting.